So I hope to be brief. There's one little video in here, but I do want to give you a bit of a highlight of some of the things we've been working on and what we're continuing to build on. So we've been busy. This Ontario government has kept us busy, and you'll learn more about the intricacies and what we've actually been working on within each of the consultations and papers that we've submitted to the Ontario government. But please note that, I'm from Toronto. I live here, and so I have pretty good access to Queen's Park, and I'm up pretty frequently in meetings, really being an ear to back and relaying information to the executive so that they can make informed decisions. So, I'm not there speaking on behalf of FOLA necessarily, but I'm certainly there as a participant and representative of FOLA to then report back to the executive. And we report back to you by way of newsletters and by way of emails that you constantly get from probably Kelly on behalf of one of our board members. And so we still have a few issues, big ones, pending. The Crown Liability Act, which was just referred to, and the legal aid, I'll just call it an issue. We've got some challenges ahead of us. And Terry Brandon will be going into those a little bit more, and you'll hear from David Field too. Terry's got a very detailed report online from the executive, from our legal aid committee. And we also have some information on auto insurance. The government is coming out over the summer with a Putting Drivers First initiative that will be phased in over 3 years with some first-year priorities. And when I get my act together right after this plenary, I was in meetings with them last week. We'll have some information on our website fleshed out about that. But right now, they're just doing some stakeholder meetings, and FOLA was included with their law side of it. They're doing one with health, and they're doing one with industry players over the course of the next week. All very short notice. These things are happening quickly, so we're doing our best to keep you guys informed as we go on. Alternative business structures, we'll hear a bit on at the first, I think it's the first committee report, which we did a submission for rules of practice, and we've got 2 that are pending, and I believe we have requests out for input from you. Both are due in, I think, by May 31st to the Law Society, and we are requesting your input by May 21st. So if we can include that in our submission. When I started, I quickly formed some partnerships. Two were ongoing, and two are new. So we joined a blockchain legal consortium. And there isn't much to that other than getting involved with some global hackathons, some of the networking that can go on behind the scenes to keep us, FOLA, and then you guys up to date on things like smart contracts and how blockchain is actually impacting or can impact law. But there are also really handy webinars and videos up on their website. There's a link on our website to them. I encourage you to look on. They're very in layman's language, like they're really easy to understand. Blockchain 101, that even helps if you're going to a dinner party. You can actually sound pretty smart and say you know stuff about blockchain. And TechSoup is really handy if you want to relay this information back to your law librarians. Great for nonprofits. You can sign up. There's a link on our site. Any nonprofit can sign up and register. And you get access to software and to hardware that have been donated. And so it's a nonprofit themselves, TechSoup, that offers these products at discount. So you guys can get discounts for them, for your staff and for your organizations. And then there are, again, handy webinars and some behind-the-scenes networking and tips and strategies that you can access too. So that's what you get with TechSoup. And all of these, this presentation is up online, and all of these links are embedded within the presentation. So that will make it handy if you want to refer back to it and share with your librarians, or just click on it yourselves. CPD Online, we will hear more from CPD, and there's a booth outside. But one of the great things, you guys as associations actually make money by encouraging your members to sign up for this. And a number of associations, and one in particular was sharing a story this morning, that they take those savings and they donate them back to a charity. And so it's a really great way to sort of have a good face and put a good, a do good effort from your charity, from your association, and do community giving. GOAHEAD trips, again, you'll hear more. FOLA has 2 trips coming up in 2020 that we really encourage you to tell your membership about. One is to Chile and Argentina, and it's a food and wine trip. And the other one is Ecuador and Galapagos, which is just really, it looks exotic. Like, it looks really, really amazing. It's a lot of cruise ships and traveling around. And we will donate, FOLA will donate $50 to each association, for each person who signs up from your jurisdictional area. They don't have to be a law member. They don't have to be a lawyer even. If they sign up and they're within your catchment area, we will then donate $50 to your association. So please do share this information with your members. I was just on a Go-Ahead trip, and they put on a great show. Like, these are once-in-a-lifetime trips, but I encourage you to go often. And I went to Peru. So these are just some highlighted pictures from my trip, because I thought I'd do a bit of a show and tell, but that's it. We recently did a membership survey, so what we were realizing is we don't really have any data. I mean, we have anecdotal information as to what you guys as associations, your members, are needing and requesting from FOLA, and what some of you guys are doing better and on your own, where we might not need to play as big of a role, or where we might actually pick up that information and share best practices with other associations who aren't yet doing things. One thing that we did hear from big and small law associations is that member engagement is a significant challenge. And we also see that relayed to there's room for improvement with member needs. And those are responses coming from your members. And all the results are on our website, and these links take you to those results, but also a members section on our website that has some resources for memberships themselves in nonprofits, and how to do membership growth and retention and recruitment and retention. To that effect, we have done a little bit of a partnership with Growth Zone, and it is a membership software company that is doing something for us for free and at no cost to you. They're hosting 2 live webinars that your law librarian or the presidents can sign up for and learn a little bit about what membership software can do for you. What it does is really captures information about your members and their behavior, and it allows them to renew automatically online. It just automates a lot of your processes. But it really creates a database so you have knowledge about your member needs, and you can continue to grow your membership and your services as you need. And so these are usually priced according to how many members are within that. So I encourage you to share this information with your librarians and your staff, because this is something that they really should take to be a part of and report back to you on whether they think it's a good fit for your association. And then here, FOLA has done some work with the National Conference of Bar Presidents and the National Association of Bar Executives. I went down to Las Vegas last year for a conference and picked up some wonderful tips and strategies of how to grow and do things a little bit differently. So one of the things that is really handy, I'm just going to pull up the next slide and try and speak at the same time. But when I was down there, by registering for these associations, I joined the National Association of Bar Executives, is that I'm allowed access to these little chat groups. And we had an issue come up that we're still dealing with the real estate side of things, is the e-affidavits, electronic affidavits, and where that's going, both with the Law Society and with the Ontario government. And I was able to chat with a whole host of people from all over the United States as to what other states are already doing and what kind of legislation is pending. So I get an ear to the ground as to not just what's happening in Ontario, but I can relay information back to the executive as to what's happening across our friends in south of the border. Some of these examples are some of the conference sessions that will be taking place in San Francisco, not ones that I went to in Las Vegas that were a while ago. So these are all really great. Some of them include one-on-one tutorial sessions. They're really workshops, and you really roll up your sleeves and get to work. So they're just amazing networking opportunities too. So Hamilton Law Association, I know they all take a good delegation down to these conferences. So if you have any questions, you can always ask me. Mike and Bill have been to some of these, and the HLA team are a phenomenal resource for them if you're curious and not necessarily trusting what I'm saying up here. The FOLA online. So as I mentioned last plenary, for those of you who weren't here, it was the website really was a brand new website at that time. We really went behind the scenes and built it out from scratch. And so we've got a lot of information on this website. I know at the beginning of my presentation I mentioned the submissions and the things that we're working on. There's a whole section on the website for issues and submissions. I encourage you to look at that section because that's where all of our submissions and your separate submissions are posted too, so you can see what we've been working on and what's coming up. And we are on Twitter, and you can see lots of pictures and videos online too. I've been tracking stats, and I still don't have a full year to capture yet, but we are doing, you know, we've got some consistent visitors, and so we're doing okay. Our newsletter subscription keeps going up, but it's a slow growth. So I really do encourage you, especially if you don't have newsletters of your own, to encourage your members to sign up for our newsletters. It's a great way to get monthly content as to what FOLA is doing, how FOLA is relevant for you, and also a call for information if we're missing something and what else people would like to see in it. We're on Twitter. Twitter is by far our largest presence, and it's a large influencer of who's going to our website. Our newsletters and Twitter are our biggest drivers outside of just the Google search. And just to show you, this is just the flow of where people are visiting on our website. And you guys are hit on. So people really do visit the Law Association links. All of your links are linked up there. So if you want traffic back to your website, please do link our website on yours. We've done it on ours, and we do encourage people to visit your websites. We want to increase traffic to you guys. You guys have more relevant content sometimes than we do to them, to your members. But we also have some good practice resources that we also are sharing from the Law Society. So we're relaying people back and forth, and you'll hear more tomorrow about what the Law Society has to offer. And we offer you those direct links in a handy way to go right back to them. Just some of our stats again. We had a big spike in YouTube. Those were people watching some of the plenary videos after when we sent out our report. Again, we'll be sending out the same. I'll be doing a post-plenary report that I encourage you to share right after this meeting. Well, right after, within the week. And then another one in a month that will be attached to within our newsletter that will have all of our videos online too. So you can see all those there. And like we have newsletters, we're also using Advocate Daily to get our news out. So we have a deal with them where we have a featured article a month. We also have access to be able to publish articles about things that are relevant to FOLA when we need them. And those can include local events. And so if you guys have newsletters or news type information, a new president has been elected, and you want to write something that will go into news circulars about lawyer news to all lawyers throughout the province and throughout really anywhere, because they tweet them out too. It is an online resource. You can email those to me, and I can do something for you. So I can access that tool whenever. So if you have anything that you want to share, please do send it my way, and I will create some news item that we put in Advocates Daily for a news release. And this is what they amplify the voice. So people really, you know, Advocates Daily has been a great resources for us, and we really do encourage you to take advantage of that. Again, we'll be doing a post-plenary survey pretty much immediately after this. So over the weekend, look for a survey. Please take a couple of moments to fill that out for us. Your input is important to us in how we plan the next one. And that's it. I have some time for questions. Also, I'm around all the next 2 days, so I'm open for questions anytime. Does anyone have any questions? There are mics. Nope. That's good. So sign up for our newsletter. I'll plug that again, please, and follow us on social media.